Child beauty pageants have been around for over a century, beginning with the May Queen's Festival, which was held in Great Britain in 1881. The point of these pageants at the time was to honor their girlish innocence. Next, the pageants moved on to younger competitors, which included baby contests and parades, which later made way for the child beauty pageants that we know today. If you aren't aware of what typically goes down on these child beauty pageants, is as simple a matter as turning on your television, in which these spectacles are aired in shows like Toddlers and Tiaras. There should be an age requirement for child beauty pageant contestants, since young children are in a very developmental stage and can have severe consequences, which will be detrimental for their growth. Participating in these pageants can be harmful for a child, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. One does not realize the length that the mothers of these child beauty pageant contestants will go through in order for their child to win. These pageant moms will essentially make young girls, even at age 2 years old, undergo beauty processes that are even difficult for adults. This can include things like waxing their legs and faces, bleaching their hair, and some mothers will go as far as making their daughters go inside of a tanning bed. Some of these beauty processes are definitely not suitable for children. One of these horrendous treatments that these pageant moms have done to their child was to go as far as administering Botox. Such was the case for Brittany and her mother Carrie. This San Francisco mother subjected her 8-year-old daughter to have Botox for the sole purpose of looking good in the pageants. Can you imagine sticking a needle inside the face of an 8-year-old child? Carrie claimed that she is not the only mother who administers Botox to her child in these beauty pageants. She found out about it only because other mothers had advised her to do it while she was at these pageants. Brittany, the child who was subjected to the Botox, admitted to feeling pain, but that she gets used to it. Brittany states that she does cry through the administering of Botox, but it is not fair to pressure a young child into this type of pain for the sole purpose of looking physically pleasing. While an adult might choose to have Botox done on their face, it is not appropriate to introduce such procedures to a child who is not informed or matured enough to be making those types of decisions. If there was an age limit of about 12 years old for these beauty pageants, Brittany and other girls in her same position will no longer be subjected to this type of physical pain. They would be allowed to read and play outside like any other normal child in their age without dealing with the pressures and pains to look perfect. Not only are Brittany and other girls like her exposed to the physical pain in attempts to keep up with the pageant world, they are also dealing with emotional issues. Many of these girls feel insecure of themselves. In these beauty pageants, there can only be one winner. This may be fine when it comes to adults who are mentally stable and can realize that their self-worth isn't dependent on winning, but these girls are 3 years old. They are not capable of rationalizing through their loss. When subjecting these young children and babies to beauty pageants, they are being taught that their self-worth is based entirely on their looks, and if someone looks better than them, then they will lose. These girls are also under a lot of pressure and stress from their own mothers. These pageant mothers will often lash out at their budding daughters and invoke punishments if their child does not win. As was stated in Psychology Today, many experts agree that participation in activities that focus on physical appearance at an early age can influence teen and or adult self-esteem, body image, and self-worth. Issues with self-identity after a child retires from the pageant scene in her teens are not uncommon. They struggle with perfection, dieting, eating disorders, and body image can take toll into their adulthood. This plays a major toll on these young girls and can cause them to have psychological damage into adulthood. A small study was conducted in 2005 and illustrated that former childhood beauty pageant contestants did in fact have high rates of body dissatisfaction. There is such a high pressure for these children to have a perfect body, and this will for sure follow them into adulthood. They will constantly have to deal with dissatisfaction in their body, which is likely to cause eating disorders in these girls and their attempt to keep up with impossible standards. These girls may begin to think that parental love and adult approval are directly correlated with how flawlessly they look and perform. This is a dangerous lesson to teach a child because they will always believe that if they do not look perfect, they are not deserving of love. Imagine a world where children can just be children. They are not subjected to painful procedures and under high stresses to be perfect in performance and looks. Such can be the case if we raise the child beauty pageant age requirement to 12 years. It is necessary for us to realize the wrong that's being done and to take actions by writing to beauty pageant agencies and letting them know that we are not okay with subjecting young girls into these beauty pageants. If we all unite together, we can aid to stop the damage being caused on young girls by child beauty pageants.